What's up everyone, it's Emma. Welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome to my channel. So today I'm gonna be doing a video about like things I wish I knew before college, so like freshman year tips. So if you are headed to college, then keep watching this video. If you are in college, but you want to just have a better second year, then keep watching this video, because all this stuff's like things that either I struggled with, my friends struggled with, or just like things that I kind of wish I did differently, or like things that like I saw other people doing which just like wasn't really healthy and like wasn't a good way to have like, a good freshman year of college. So keep watching this video and I'm gonna give you guys freshman year tips for college. So all these things are things that like no one ever told me, and I don't know how, because like I don't know, I feel like this is just like good advice. Like I don't know, maybe it's just like things I struggled with, but even talking to friends, like I feel like this is all stuff that like I don't know, it's gonna make your freshman year better. Okay, so for starters, tip number 1 and tip number 2 I think kind of tie into each other. So 1, don't read into people's social medias, and 2, don't go to college with like the expectation that you're gonna have this like amazing picture perfect college lifestyle with like 100 friends, constant just I don't know, just don't expect that it's gonna be like this amazing thing like in the movies. And like obviously like people come home from college and they're like, oh my god, college is so fun, but don't go into it expecting that, and don't read into other people's social medias. So why? Well, you go to college and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so excited, this is gonna be the 4 best years of my life, and you think that you're gonna have this fat group of friends and everything's gonna be perfect. And then you get there and you don't know anyone. Like maybe you know a few people, but most people don't know anyone. You're freaked out. You make a few instant friends, but it's not like you have that like huge friend group. And I mean, okay, some people do. Some people go to college, they instantly have this perfect lifestyle. But I'm gonna tell you guys honestly, like it doesn't usually happen. If people tell you that they're just absolutely thriving and they've had no issues, chances are they're lying, because they just want to make their time seem better. So the reality is, when you go to college, like obviously it's a scary thing. I mean, it's not scary for everyone, but for most people, like you don't really know anyone, and you go and like it's scary. You're adjusting to a new place, you're adjusting to like all new people, to everything's new. And the problem is, like, you go on social media and maybe you're struggling and you don't have like all your friends yet, you're like maybe feeling like, oh, maybe this isn't the right place for me, whatever. You go on social media and you see everyone's posting stories and pictures and whatever about all these parties they're going to, like their 10 million friends, just they get drunk and they're like, oh my god, all my best friends, whatever, because that's what people do when they drink. I wouldn't know because I'm under 21 obviously, but anyways, so people like make their social media seem more fun, and like it sucks, guys. I don't think most people try to do this, but the reality is, like, when you post stuff on social media, you're making your life seem more fun than usually it is. Like, okay, here's an example. One time I was at this party and it was so bad, like it was just trash. The music was bad, like no one was really dancing, it was just bad. And I was watching this girl and she like had her phone up and she was filming. And she's like shaking the camera, to make it look like everyone's like really lit. And I was like watching it, I was like, wow, like that, like whatever party she's at, like that looks lit on her phone, but like this is boring as hell, So don't read into social media, because chances are it's not what it seems, and all it's gonna do for you is you're gonna be looking at everyone's social media and you're gonna be like, wow, like I'm not thriving, I'm not doing super well, like, and what's wrong with me, like all this stuff. So I think it's really important to know and to like remember that everyone's having a completely different experience. So don't look at other people's experiences and compare yourself, because you're in college to like discover yourself and like whatever, you're on your own path. And so whatever other people are doing doesn't matter, and what they're posting on social media, what they're doing, whatever, it literally doesn't concern you. You're on your own path in life. Jackson, shut up. So like you're on your own path, whatever, in life, and like you're in college to have your own experiences. So you know, someone might post something on social media and you're like, wow, like I'm just, you know, my college isn't that fun, or like I don't have that many friends or whatever. Don't do that, because what they're experiencing is completely different, and it also, chances are, it's really not what it seems. And I'm not saying that people don't have fun in college, because college is so fun, like it actually is really fun, but just, it takes time, I think, and I don't think that people should compare what they're experiencing with like what people post on social media, because obviously, like, it's gonna, you know, you're gonna make it seem like it's amazing. You wouldn't post a picture on social media of you looking just like really sad. That would be weird, you know, if you're like with friends and you're like, wow, like we are all having a terrible time, like I hate college, like no one's gonna do that, you know. So my experience with like friends and all that, I got to school, and I mean, you know, you make your few friends at first, but I think like after, like throughout the whole first semester, we were all loving LMU, we were all loving college, you know, like everything we were doing. But I feel like we were like, why don't we have like this huge group of friends? Like, what's going on? Like, and I feel like we were all kind of a little off. And so I was like, shoot, like, am I not supposed to go to this school? Like, am I not in the right place? What's going on? And I was kind of freaking out a little bit. Like, to be honest, I was like one of my friends transferred to like a completely different school, and I was like, oh my gosh, should I transfer? Like, should I be going to a fashion school and not like this school? I've honestly thought about it a lot. Like, sometimes I think I should be, you know, at fashion school right away. But so I was like really doubting myself, because I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm having fun, but like I don't know if these are my people. And then of course I start looking at other people's social media, and I'm like, oh my god, like everyone has their big friend groups and everyone's just like having the time of their lives, whatever, and I'm not. False. Then I come home, I talk to all my friends, I talk to everyone, and truth is, like, everyone's in the same boat, like everyone's struggling. Like, you're not gonna have instant best friends, like it's just not gonna happen. So just know that. And know that, like, when you get to college and, like, maybe if things aren't working for you right away, don't freak out. Just be like, oh, okay, Emma told me this was gonna happen, and now I know to just calm down and take my time. Because it will happen for you. Like, if you put the effort in and you, like, try to make friends, you put yourself out there, it will happen. Like, my second semester was probably the best semester of my life. Like, I loved it. I was having so much fun. I love my friends. I was honestly thriving, and so it just takes time. And so just know that, and like don't freak out right away when things aren't going your way and you think that other people are having more fun than you, because they're not. And don't freak yourself out. It's just not healthy. Just focus on yourself, because you're on your own journey in life. Yeah. So yeah, tip number 1 and tip number 2, don't expect like an amazing picture perfect college lifestyle, but more so, don't freak out when that's not what you have, because it will happen, you know, if you work for it, if you like try to make friends and all that, if you have a positive attitude. But just don't freak out when that's not what happens right away. And 2, don't read into other people's social medias, because that's gonna make it worse, and it's gonna make you super sad, because people are so competitive and they try to have a better time than other people, which shouldn't happen. Just have your own experience, have fun, forget about what other people are saying, because it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Just ignore it. As soon as you like make the conscious decision to just go on with your life without worrying what other people say, like, you're gonna be so much happier. Like, I literally don't care at all, and I'm so happy, and it's amazing. So just live your own life. Don't worry, you know, about other people. Don't, like, it's cool, like, check up on them, but don't like compare your life to theirs, because that's not gonna help anyone. Just not. Tip number 3. Okay, also I'm really embarrassed by my nails, so just ignore them, because this is like really embarrassing for me. Anyways, tip number 3. So tip number 3 is like, don't stress so much about your grades, which sounds bad, and I'm not encouraging you to like ditch class and like not study, whatever, and like party all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But so basically in high school, like, I stressed way too much about grades. I took like way too hard classes. I was constantly like, that's all I did, and I was miserable, honestly. And once I got to college, I was like, you know what, screw this, like, I'm just gonna have fun, and I'm gonna do well, and I'm gonna work hard. But I'm in college, like, I want to, you know, and like experience everything. So I just made the decision to kind of relax a little bit, and I'm honestly so glad that I did, because while I still did well in school, I didn't make like 24/7. It wasn't about, oh my gosh, if I don't get, you know, whatever, an A on this, then like my life's over, which isn't true. I think like one of the big things is discovering yourself and like learning about yourself and like going through this new experience on your own, like without your family or without, you know, whatever you had back home. So I just think that like a lot of times people like freak out a lot. A lot of times you don't have the same support system in college as you did at home. I would just say like work your hardest, but don't freak out and don't like focus so much on the outcome that it just makes you sick or drives you crazy. Because I mean, yes, like do well, work hard, but I think like college is really just about like discovering yourself and, you know, experiencing shit. So like I would just focus on that, like work hard, but honestly, if that you don't get the outcome you wanted, don't freak out too much to the point where like you can't have fun. Because also too, like, and I'm not saying like don't study and like ditch school or whatever, like, cause I never ditched class really. I went to, you know, everything, and like I did well, I studied. But if you're like so concerned with the outcome that you don't get to fully experience college and you don't experience, you know, everything like the town has to offer or whatever, like you don't discover yourself again, then I don't know, I just think that that's like not truly like living college to the fullest. I think it's just important to like have a balance, because if you are working so hard that, you know, you're not going out to like experience the world, experience everything that like all the rest of college has to offer, then, you know, I don't think that that's healthy, and I don't think it's gonna like better you as a person. But also if like you're just ditching school all the time and like not studying, and that's also not good either. So it's just important to have a balance. So like tip number 3, like not only don't focus too much on like the outcome of your grades and like don't like, you know, freak out, whatever, but I think just balance it, because you don't want to be on either end of the spectrum. Don't freak out too much, you know? It's just about the balance. Okay, tip number 4 is something that my mom actually helped me with, and she told me to do, and I started doing it, or actually I did it right in like the middle of sophomore year, and it's honestly super helpful, and I'm really glad I did it. So she told me to plan out like all of my classes, like every single class for my entire 4 years. And I know that sounds crazy, and not necessarily like plan out like the details of your classes, but at least like, you know, plan out which like major classes you're gonna take, which G's you're gonna take, and then like what, like, you know, oh, here I'm gonna take like a creative class, or I'm gonna take a fun class, whatever. And okay, so this was super helpful, and especially for me, so I added another major and a minor, so like I'm pretty tight with like what I have to take. So it was super helpful that, so like I'm not screwed up at all, like I'm gonna be on track to like do all of that. And also it's just like better, because then when it comes time to pick classes, like you know what you're gonna be picking, and so it's not stressful like, oh shoot, my counselor didn't help me, because a lot of times that happen, like people are like, my counselor hasn't told me anything, like I met with her and all she did was like nothing. I don't know. Plan out your classes for all 4 years, and like this isn't like a super strict thing, like you don't need to know every single detail of your classes, and like obviously it's gonna change a little bit sometimes when you're picking your classes. It's not gonna be like exact all the time, like what your list is, but it definitely like makes it less stressful, and like I'm really glad I did it, because especially like if you do want to add another thing like a major or minor, you have to know if like you can fit it in. So it just like makes things less stressful. Okay, honestly, for a long time my mom was like telling me to do it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is so unnecessary, like I don't need to do this, whatever. I was like, this is just busy work, you know, something like my mom will be happy if I did. So then finally I was like, okay, like I'll do it. And after doing it, I was like, shoot, like I'm so glad I did that, because if I hadn't done that, like I wouldn't have had all the classes to be able to complete both majors and the minor. So I'm really glad that I did it. So just listen to your parents when they give you tips, because a lot of times, as much as you don't want to admit it, they're helpful. So listen and plan out your classes, because you're gonna be glad that you did. Okay, tip number 5. Okay, this is another thing that goes along with like the listening to your parents thing, and I know it's like so annoying to admit, but like they know a thing or two sometimes, only sometimes. But okay, so tip number 5 is like talk to as many people as possible, and also like make it a point to like make a friend in everything you do, at least like for the first week, whatever, like make a friend in every class. So my mom told me, she was like,
okay, like everywhere you go, like you have to make one friend, and then like you have to tell me about that friend.
I was like, okay mom. And so I kind of like, you know, I was like, oh yeah, whatever, like I'll try to talk to people, but like I don't know, like I'm not gonna do that. And so I was at orientation, and we were in our orientation groups, and like it was by our majors, and I tell this story all the time, it's so funny. And so we're in our circle, and in the back of my mind I'm like, oh my gosh, like my mom told me I have to make a friend, like who am I gonna be friends with, whatever. So I'm looking around the circle, and all of a sudden I spot this one girl like right across from me. I'm like, that's gonna be my friend, like right there, that's her. I picked her. And so then I like made a point to like, you know, constantly go up to her or whatever. Like we were playing this game where like you had to like, you know, move around the circle, so I would like move towards her, you know. And then I started talking to her. Okay, also this sounds like kind of creepy and stalkerish, but I swear like it's not at all. Like I just like wanted to be friends with this girl. Anyways, so I like whatever started talking to her. Eventually like we were all kind of like 3 of us were talking, like we got each other's numbers and stuff. And she ended up being in one of my classes, like my major class. And now she's one of my best friends, and I'm living with her next year. So all because my mom like forced me to make friends, and I picked her out of a crowd to become friends with, and I just made it a point to like be her friend. Now she's like one of my best friends. So just like put yourself out there, and if you're nervous, just remember everyone's in the same boat. No one knows everyone, like everyone's freaking out. Even if people seem confident inside, they're freaking out because they don't know everyone. It's like scary going to college and like not knowing anyone. So yeah, just to like talk to people. And honestly, like if someone, like whenever people come up to me and like they're like, hey, like I'm so and so, like what's up, it's honestly cool, because then it takes the pressure off you, and it's just nice. Like people aren't gonna think you're weird for being like, hey, like I want to socialize and like be friends with you. Like whoever like said that's weird to like want to be friends with someone, I don't know. Anyway, so just put yourself out there. As scary as it is, it's gonna pay off. I wouldn't have one of my best friends if I hadn't listened to my mom and like, you know, made friends. So every class you go to, everything you go to, whatever, make it a point, just make a friend. You don't have to love this person. They don't have to be like, you know, your best friend in the world, but like just try, just put yourself out there, meet people, talk to people, you know. It's honestly nice too, because then like when you're walking around school and you don't know anyone and you see that person, you're like, oh my god, hey, and like it's a familiar face, and so like it's not as scary and stuff. So yeah. Okay, tip number 6. So this is again like kind of bouncing off of the like expectation about college thing. So tip number 6 is just like you don't need a huge friend group to have a good time. And I mean, in high school, like I came from a high school where like everyone kind of had like big friend groups, and so I got to college and I kind of expected like that was what was supposed to happen. And especially because like sororities too, like you think that like you should have this huge group of friends, but honestly like you really don't. I think that like once you get older too, quality over quantity, because you could have like a huge group of friends and like it seems like it's fun on the outside, but the truth is like how many of those friends are really going to be like truly there for you. And I have like a smaller group of friends now, and I'm so close with them. Like I love them. I know that like any of them would do anything for me. So I just think that like it's important to know that like it's not necessarily about having like a huge group of friends, but rather like friends that, you know, are going to be there for you. Because also like another thing is once you get to college, like you need to realize that like the people that you're surrounding yourselves with aren't just like people that you're gonna be like spending time with here and there. Like someone told me once, they're like, you're not just picking your friends, like you're picking the people who are like gonna be at your wedding, who are gonna like help you move into your first apartment, whatever, like all this stuff. So like just pick people who like you want to be by your side in the future, like when you're adults and stuff, and like when you're not just like out partying, you know, like people who are genuine friends who are gonna be there for you. And you don't need 100 of them. You really need only a few who are going to be there for you, and that's it. And if you have 100 friends, or like you have a huge group of friends, like that's great, but whatever. But just know that you don't need that, and just look for like friends who are just genuine people and who really care about you. And it's going to be so much better, because also in college, like you're going to be doing stuff where you need people who are going to be there for you, especially because, okay, you get to college, you're on your own, you know, your parents aren't there, your siblings aren't there, and so a lot of times like you kind of feel alone. So if you have friends who are like gonna be there for you and like help you through all of that weird freshman year like kind of uncomfortable stuff, then you're gonna feel so much better than if you just have like a group of like 10 friends who are just fun to party with. Okay, so tip number 7. this one is something that I really wish like someone had told me other than my mom, because obviously my mom was telling me this, but like I didn't want to listen to her. So tip number 7 is you don't need all your clothes. You really don't. I have a lot of clothes. I have a lot of shoes. I have a problem, I'll admit. I really do. I have like 60 something pair of shoes. I have a huge closet. I'm addicted. I'm a shopaholic. I can't help it. So I, of course, can't part with any of my stuff. And so when I was going to college, we literally packed like 2 suitcases full of shoes and then like had to have my dad take one on the plane and like because they wouldn't fit in the car. I really, really have a problem with shoes. It's like really, really bad. But anyways, I wanted to bring like all my clothes and I fought my mom so hard on it. And she's like, you don't need this. You're never gonna wear this, whatever. I was like, no, I don't. Like, I need it. I need all of these. Like, I can't say no to any of them. And then I get to college and it's true. You wear like, you know, a few things to class every day. Honestly, I wore my pajamas to class a lot. You wear like a few things out, you wear whatever, but like you don't need all your clothes, believe me. If there's that thing in your closet that you haven't worn in like 6 months, but you're just holding on to, you're not gonna wear it in college. So just like save yourself the trouble and don't bring it because it's just gonna be a hassle. Like I could barely fit anything in my closet. And now, okay, to be honest, I've gotten a lot of clothes this summer. Honestly, I'm really nervous to fit all of my clothes and shoes in my apartment this year. We're gonna see how that goes. But I'm really gonna try to take my own advice and say that I don't need all of them. So I'm just gonna take a few of them. It's really sad for me, guys. Okay, I know it's hard, but believe me, you don't need all of them. You really don't. And also, if you're at college, don't bring all your clothes. And if you're there and you're like, wow, I really want that one sweater that I haven't worn in like 2 years randomly, you can have your parents or whoever send it to you. But don't take all of it. It's gonna like save you the hassle and it's just gonna be so much better than like trying to squeeze everything and like fighting your parents on like bringing all your clothes. Okay, also in college, like you're not gonna be dressing up every single day to go to class, and I fought this so hard too. I was like, no, I'm still gonna dress up every day. And like I have this thing, like I don't repeat outfits. I just like, I don't know, I won't do it. I have to wear a different outfit every day. Not that I won't repeat like shirts and stuff, but like the one outfit will not be the same. And so I was like that in high school, and so in college I was like, no, like I'm gonna wear all my stuff, like whatever. And then you get to college and like, okay, the thing is about being at school is you're constantly at home. Like you go to class, but you live on campus, so it's not like, it's like you're literally just walking to the other room, you know? Like it's like you're not really leaving to like go to school, you're just like walking out of your dorm. Okay, also like you go to the cafeteria, like you're walking to your kitchen, so it's like you're not gonna like get on a full outfit, like cute shoes, whatever, like jewelry, everything to like walk to your kitchen, you know? Like I literally would wear pajamas, like sweatpants to class and to eat. And yeah, I would dress up every once in a while, but like it just feels weird. Like I'm telling you, like the feeling is really different. It's not like, oh, like you're just lazy so like you don't want to dress up. Like it's not that. It's really like you just like you're not gonna dress up to like, I don't know, walk to your kitchen or like, I don't know, I can't explain it, but believe me, like you just don't need all your clothes. And like coming from me, like believe me, because I literally like I'm obsessed. Like I'm going into fashion though, so like can you really blame me? But anyways, you don't need all of them. So those were my 7 tips for college and like things I wish I knew before college, things I wish people told me, or at least like things I wish I listened to, because yes, Mom, you did tell me a lot of this stuff. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed and I hope like you learned something. Please listen, because you're gonna get to college and be like, wow, like Emma's so right about this. Like I really wish I listened. But okay, also though too, if you finished your first year and like you're watching this but like you struggled with any of these things, maybe you didn't. Maybe like you got to college and you just like kicked ass and you had no problems. I doubt it, but maybe you did. But anyways, if you're like going into your 2nd, 3rd, whatever, any year of college, and you had one of these issues, then like just try to make the slight change and just know you're not alone and there's room for improvement. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. Also guys, so my hair is now a light blue. If you haven't watched my dyeing my hair blue video, go check that video out on my channel. I'll also link it down in the description box below. But if you think that my hair was always this color, well, that's a lie, because it was dark purple when it was supposed to be this color, I think. Went through a little mint green stage and now it's like a light blue because I'm using purple shampoo. So Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget, like this video, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. And I'll see you guys next time. Jackson! Shut up! Shut up, okay? Shut up.